from
And
years
what are
to
the
months.
emotional consequences of a reskilling cycle speeding up? For shorter time periods, you will feel at the top of your game. And that, from an ego point of view, is very uncomfortable, because then you're just on top of your game and then you have to go do something again.
Okay, so what are you saying in this book?
Climate change and climate policy has geopolitical implications. I predict that as our physical reality starts changing to the worse and we start catalyzing this transition, we will see potentially also some sort of arms race in owning the next chapter of humanity.
So I've been mistakenly trying to bring this back to some form of talent question, which is becoming hard.
No, but it's an important question, because talent is connected to what type of task is this and what are the skill sets that are needed in a transition. Mm-hmm. And potentially those skill sets, and you and I have talked about this a lot, are problem-solving skill set in a terrain that's moving.
You're thinking that the crisis that is upon us will have an unprecedented impact on the way people have to work or have to think.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the other conversations around the green transition feel quite far away. But if we put it in a very clear security point of view, and I was asked the other day how to address that people don't want to transition. I like my life the way it is. Sure, I love the way my life is right now, and I don't want to transition either. But that is a very entitled response to a question that doesn't really exist. It's very theoretical. We have to transit, like we put ourselves in this position. So then it's a question of how do we want to do it?
It's learning the skill to constantly adapt.
Learn skills.
And exactly. Yeah. It's power skills. It comes through a lot of emotional skills as well, like doubting yourself, self-awareness, learning to understand the world around you from an emotional standpoint. These cycles are just going to become faster and faster. The reskill is just from years to months.
And what are the emotional consequences of a reskilling cycle speeding up? That is, for shorter time periods, you will feel at the top of your game. Mm-hmm. And that, from an ego point of view, is very uncomfortable, because then you're just on top of your game and then you have to go do something again. And I think that will be the emotional barrier, that you don't want to let go of the feeling, I finally get it. So we need to normalize this wave of ego. And I think also maybe it has to do with when we go to school, in a traditional sense, we're young and we're seen as not ready, and therefore we go to school. So there's also some sort of emotional thing about graduating where you suddenly become taken seriously. Mm-hmm. And I think also going back to school means, am I not taken seriously? And therefore it's a emotional failure of sorts.
That needs to change.
Yes, completely.
The way we do schools. Before you teach a new art skills, it's a reframing of your vulnerability position to say, I don't know and it's okay. Like and you constantly don't know. And that you keep pushing yourself and you keep learning and then you go back down and go like, okay, this is something new, I don't know, but I'm going to learn. And the learning aspect is then valued. And I think this is a lot why people feel vulnerable, is because I don't think it is valued today when you're on your learning curve and you're not the expert.
Yeah, just asking why. How does this work?